It's St. Louis and again, Missouri.
The structures. Thousands of mounds are known to exist, and many more are likely still waiting to be discovered. These mounds are predominantly found in the Great Lakes, Ohio River, and Mississippi Valley regions. Their distribution and chronology suggest that they were not the work of a single culture, but rather were constructed by various groups over an extended period. Some of the earliest mound complexes even predate Stonehenge. Break in Louisiana, for instance, is approximately 5,400 years old, with radiocarbon dating placing its construction around 3500 BC. It stands out as the only known mound complex built by primitive hunter-gatherers. Watson Brake showcases 11 mounds, varying from 3 to 25 feet high, linked by ridges to form an impressive oval stretching nearly 900 feet across. Standing tall at a remarkable 100 feet in height, Monk's Mound in Illinois is perhaps the best known of all the mounds. Built by the Mississippian culture, it likely served as an important center for their religious and political ceremonies. This mound is part of the Cahokia settlement, which, at its peak around the 12th century, was home to some 20 to 30,000 people, and is considered by some to have been the first city in North America. The Cahokia earthworks are believed to have served a range of defensive, ceremonial, and astronomical purposes. Monk's Mound once consisted of a series of rectangular terraces, with a large structure occupying its summit and serving as the centerpiece of the civilization responsible for it. Remarkably, Monk's Mound appears to have been built over a period of decades rather than centuries, as previously thought. The scale of this task, when limited to simple engineering and construction methods, is virtually unfathomable. Soil was dug up with sticks and transported by hand without assistance from wheels, carts, or load-carrying animals. Some mounds appear to be abstract in shape, that is, until viewed from above. Great Serpent Mound in Ohio resembles a gigantic writhing snake, an animal that held particular significance to many ancient civilizations. Measuring 1,348 feet in length, the Great Serpent Mound is the largest representation of a serpent anywhere in the world, with its construction dated to around 300 BC. Scholars disagree about the purpose of the oval-shaped mound at its head, with some claiming it to be an egg, the body of a frog, or the representation of an enlarged eye. Others maintain that it's the remnants of a viewing platform. But beyond their sheer size, it's the meticulous precision of these mounds that might be most impressive. A mathematical marvel. Often distinguished by geometric shapes like circles, octagons, and perfect squares, the ancient mound complexes of North America reveal a sophistication in mathematics and geometry once thought to be non-existent in that era. Such findings have fueled more unconventional theories about their origin. Only in recent history were the mounds analyzed, measured, and compared to one another. These studies revealed that sophisticated measurement techniques had been used when building the mounds, and that fascinating symbols had been hidden within them. Take, for instance, the Hopewell ceremonial earthworks in Ohio. Here you'll find the Great Circle, an immense mound with a circumference exactly equal to the perimeter of the adjoining square. Impressively, this square's area precisely matches that of another neighboring structure, the Observatory Circle. The Great Circle is just one example of the astounding accuracy and meticulousness of the ancient mound builders. Their advanced craftsmanship doesn't end with geometry. Subsequent research has unveiled that these mounds aren't just feats of mathematical prowess. They also showcase intricate astronomical alignments. Closer to the stars. To the surprise of many, investigations in the 1980s found a mysterious relationship between the mounds and celestial patterns that suggested that the mounds, particularly those at the Hopewell complex, had astronomical significance. Researchers first wondered if, as with Stonehenge, the ancient mounds might align with a solar calendar. However, investigations proved fruitless until an alternative theory was proposed, that the mounds, in fact, reflected a lunar calendar. The difficulties in tracking and understanding a lunar cycle, which takes 18.6 years, far exceed the complexities of tracking a one-year solar cycle. Despite this, the Hopewell culture appears to have had an advanced understanding of the moon's movements, which finds itself directly above the very center of the observatory mound every 18.6 years. Still, the mounds of North America keep their secrets closely guarded. The purpose of most mounds remains speculative at best. And perhaps most mysteriously, once these earthworks were built, their builders left the area behind. Considering this, one researcher concluded that, quote, maybe the answer is that building them was the purpose. The mysterious builders. The mound builders were not a singular group, but a collection of diverse cultures that occupied various territories from around 3500 BC to the 16th century. Despite the differences between these cultures, similarities in some of the mounds have led many to believe that mound-building societies might have shared certain connections or influences.
Meet Remarkable 2, a revolutionary new way to take notes.
One particularly notable mound-building culture was that of the Hopewell people. They were an interconnected network of Native American societies responsible for constructing the Hopewell ceremonial earthworks. Their society flourished between 100 BC and 500 AD. Little remains of the Hopewell culture, and no extant written records exist. Nevertheless, the fragments of information that archaeologists have gleaned from their earthworks provide insights into a fascinating and sophisticated society that had a clear hierarchical structure and the ability to orchestrate large-scale construction projects. Estimates suggest that constructing a single mound required thousands of workers. They would use sharpened sticks and transport soil over considerable distances in wicker baskets. They meticulously laid and shaped the soil according to precise specifications. Just one mound at the Hopewell complex is believed to have required moving 7 million cubic feet of earth. Artifacts unearthed from these sites include smoking pipes, obsidian blades, household items, and a distinctive stone statue of a man adorned in a bearskin, clutching a human skull. This unique figure has been christened the Shaman of Newark. Yet, despite their evident sophistication, mound-building cultures, particularly the later ones, appear to have vanished around the 16th century. Various theories have emerged to explain this disappearance: foreign diseases, conflicts with European settlers, environmental changes, or even large-scale massacres. However, no single theory can wholly account for events like the sudden disappearance of the Cahokia settlement, a bustling city once home to 20,000 or more inhabitants. While the abrupt exit of mound-building cultures, and occasionally the entire civilizations associated with them, remains a mystery to archaeologists, it's widely acknowledged that the native North Americans were the masterminds behind these awe-inspiring earthworks. Yet, as with many historical enigmas, more speculative theories about the mounds and their architects have also emerged. Alternative theories. When European settlers arrived in America, many believed the indigenous peoples were too unsophisticated to have created the impressive mounds found across the landscape. This led some to speculate that the mounds were the work of earlier, non-indigenous cultures, such as the Vikings. Some even theorized that a lost race, possessing advanced construction techniques, had occupied these lands before the Native Americans. They thought these mysterious builders might have been part of the 10 lost tribes of Israel, which disappeared after their exile in 722 BC. These theories collectively became known as the mound builder myth. Today, scholars believe such theories were racially motivated, aimed at perpetuating the stereotype of Native Americans as uncivilized savages. Despite its lack of evidence, the mound builder myth still has supporters. In the 19th century, another theory suggested the mounds were the work of inhabitants from the legendary lost continent of Atlantis, a concept introduced by Plato. Yet another popular 19th century theory, which received considerable attention, proposed that the mounds were the creation of a race of giants. In 1897, the New York Times reported the discovery of a human skeleton in a Wisconsin mound, purportedly over 9 feet tall. In Georgia, an excavation of a mound revealed numerous human remains, with some bones suggesting individuals of extraordinary height. These accounts were so widespread that even Abraham Lincoln commented on them. The unwillingness of many to recognize that Native Americans could have built these mounds highlights an inherent bias. However, contemporary research and rational thinking affirm that the mound builders of North America were indeed Native American tribes, displaying a sophistication previously underappreciated.